What's up, guys? Welcome back to Simply FPL. It's Tuesday, 3 days until the season kicks off. The time is absolutely flying. And today we're going to look at a slightly different formation. So one question I keep being asked is it possible to have a good team with 5 premium defenders? The answer is yes, but I think the reason I get asked it a lot is I think if you're relatively new to FPL, this is probably a good formation to go with because you can essentially pick the 5 best defenders in your opinion. Just leave them every single week. They're going to keep getting points, and then you can just kind of rotate the midfielders and the strikers. So it's a lot less effort and a lot less kind of thinking. There's a lot less traps you can fall down. So I've put together a team which it's a 5-3-2 formation that I think looks really good. And actually, some of it is giving me some thoughts on my own team. So yeah, we'll have a look at that formation, and I'm sure some of you might be considering it. So yeah, let's just get straight into it. So the goalkeepers, not going to change them. I think Sanchez offers the best value, like in terms of his price, but also I think he's got a good chance at being near the top of the goalkeeper list when it comes to overall points as well. So even in a video where we're focusing on spending all of our money on defenders / goalkeepers, I'd still probably have Sanchez. I just don't think there's any reason to look elsewhere. And again, if you check any one of my videos out in the last few weeks, there's a lot of talk about Sanchez. So yeah, we don't need to go into it in too much detail. The defenders then. I mean, you probably could have guessed what these defenders would be when we were talking about 5 premium defenders. Now, we probably would have Robertson in there instead of Cresswell if he was fit. But for the time being, you've got 5 defenders playing for 5 teams that generally will keep a lot of clean sheets. And you've also got 5 defenders who are all the main attacking wing-backs. So you could argue that you're playing with 5 extra midfielders because all 5 of these, like, they very rarely stick in their like left or right back position. They're usually up the pitch. So in terms of the points the defenders often get, 5.5 million, £6 million defenders, they almost always outscore 5.5 million and £6 million midfielders and strikers. So if you think about it from that point of view, you can almost build an argument in your own head that if you put all your money in defense, you're probably going to get more points overall. So look, I don't know. I've never gone with this formation. But just looking at the individual players, so Chilwell and Cancelo are 2 players I'm strongly considering myself. The more I think about Cancelo, the more I'm probably going to find the space for him in my team for game week 1. I just don't think he's as big a rotation risk as people kind of make out. Like at the start of last season, after his first game, I think he went 12 games. He was only benched 1 of them. So, I mean, that's not a rotation, really. That's just getting 1 break when they had a load of games. So, look, I'm considering putting Cancelo in there and then him and Mahrez on that right-hand side. They could cause a lot of damage together. And the same with Chilwell. Chelsea are going to keep a lot of clean sheets regardless of who they play. And Chilwell's going to get a lot of assists, or he's going to have a lot of attacking involvement. Whether they turn into assists or goals is obviously another question. And then obviously Alexander-Arnold and Shaw, we've kind of spoke ad nauseum about. And Cresswell got, what, did he get 11 assists last season? It was around the 10 mark anyway, and 10 or 11 clean sheets as well. His price, I'm surprised it didn't go up. And West Ham, if they kick on from last season, he's going to have another really good year. So those are the 5 defenders, and it's going to be very hard to have a bad week if you've got those 5 defenders. Most weeks you're going to get 2 or 3 clean sheets. Most weeks you're going to get 1 or more assists slash goals. So yeah, that's the back 5, and there's probably not too many better back 5s in FPL this season. So then that leaves you with the midfield. Now, the reason why this strategy might be particularly good this season is because there's so many good midfield options that are in that £6 to £8 million range. So we can still afford 2 premiums. So we've got Mo Salah and Son. If you really need Bruno Fernandes, you can always drop Greenwood, improve Son to Fernandes, and just turn Greenwood into a £5.5 million midfielder. There are a few potential options. And then you've got your Rafinha, Bruno, Salah midfield, which a lot of teams have anyway. So yeah, that's your premium mid. Now, there's not a huge amount to talk about with these guys. I mean, most of this midfield is in my current team, so we spoke a lot about them. But in essence, Brownhill's going to just sit on the bench. You're never going to play him. You'll just rotate through the other 4 midfielders, knowing that if you have to make a sub, or because maybe 1 or 2 of your players are injured, Brownhill will be that second sub. And then each week you can pretty much just, you can bench either Rafinha or Greenwood depending on the fixture, and then start to rotate through these 4 as a transfer each week depending on who's playing which fixture. Mo Salah's obviously the no-brainer. He'll be in your team every week. Probably Son as well. But Greenwood and Rafinha, that they should arguably be worth more than £6.5 and £7.5 million. So after the first 4 or 5 game weeks, their points could be well up there with the likes of Son and Bruno and Salah. Like it really could happen. And Rafinha in particular, him and Harrison. So Harrison's £500,000 less if you wanted to upgrade somewhere else and save £500,000. The 2 of them, like if Leeds have the season they had last year, they're going to be the best value players in FPL this year. So yeah, that's the midfield. And the strikers. So look, even with the defence and midfield looking as good as it does, you can still afford 2 really good strikers. So Davis is going to be the only player that doesn't play. You've got a £4.5 million bench fodder. He's going to sit on that 3rd spot in the bench and never come on. But it generally won't matter because the rest of your team are almost nailed to play every week. So unless you've got 3 injuries, which is so unlikely, then Davis won't be needed anyway. But yeah, up front we got Ings. His first 3 game weeks, I think he has to be in pretty much every team if you can afford him. And then you can look to get rid of him for game week 4. I mean, there's so many options to replace him with there. And Antonio, assuming he stays fit, will get a lot of goals. He's proved it time and time again. £7.5 million is a bargain, assuming he's on the pitch. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on his injury status. We've obviously got 2 injury-prone strikers, but again, there's so many options to swap them out for if any injuries do happen. And look, you've got a transfer each week, but you're not going to waste it on any of the defenders, so it should be quite easy to kind of make those transfers. In terms of the team for game week 1, then, so there's the 5-3-2. I mean, on paper, that looks like a really good team. Until you see it actually there, you don't really appreciate how good a team it does look like. So, I mean, you've got every single one of those outfield players could get an attacking return. All of the defenders could get a clean sheet. Obviously, Tottenham are playing City, so you're not going to be able to get an attacking return and a clean sheet from Cancelo and Son. But you obviously get what I'm saying. Like, they've all got a really good chance. I mean, 10 of those 11 have really good fixtures pretty much at the start of the season, or 9 of the 11, sorry. So yeah, that's the template 5-3-2 team. And yeah, I'm really considering getting Cancelo in my team. I just need to, now that Tsimikas is an option for the first few game weeks, I'm considering getting rid of Jota, putting Tsimikas. Have I said his name right? Tsimikas? Maybe I've got that wrong. The Liverpool £4 million defender. Considering putting Tsimikas in there instead of Soufal, and then I've got another $1 million to spend, so I could upgrade a player to Cancelo then. So look, I've got a lot of options all of a sudden. I think again, Cancelo, I've been banging on about him for over a year now. He's going to eventually go on a run of games where he gets like a couple of goals, a couple of assists, and a couple of clean sheets, and we're all going to wonder why we don't all own him. So yeah, that's just a matter of time before that happens. His XG and his expected assists and expected goals last season was it the highest defender in the league? I think it was. If not, it was one of the highest, probably just behind Robertson or Alexander-Arnold. But he's $1 million and $1.5 million cheaper than those two. So yeah, keep an eye on him. And that's the team. So look, we might put up another video later on today. So there's going to be loads of videos this week. FPL week, as I call it. That's where everyone's going to be trying to pay attention to different sort of videos and to help build their own team. So yeah, if you like that video, do hit that subscribe button and join the mini league as well. So the code for the mini league is in the description and also in the comments. There's like 1,500 people in it already. Yeah, so join that for a bit of fun. And yeah, we might have another live stream later on. If not, we'll probably have another video. So yeah, take it easy, guys, and we'll see you next time.